The Amazing Atheist, you forced my hand, so I'm making a video. Now, if you had even bothered to view my videos, you would realize that myself, okay, I myself state how I am fighting terrorism, okay, and how the Muslim community are fighting terrorism and extremism. You would realize this, and you would also realize that I have described people of the Al-Qaeda ideals as nutters, and you would also realize that I call them disbelievers. You can't get any stronger condemnation than this.
Ooh. You call them disbelievers. Wow, that's almost worse than what I was accusing you of. Because rather than acknowledge that there's a problem within your own religion and say, oh no, some of these people have become extremists, we need to address this, you just say, oh, well, they don't really count as Muslims. They're actually not Muslims at all. Yeah, anytime someone does something I don't like, they're no longer a Muslim. It doesn't work like that. People you don't just get to declare that someone doesn't fit into your religion or lack of religion even. I mean, it's like if I'm trying to make a video and I say, well, Stalin wasn't really an atheist, I mean, we do have to explain the actions of these people and how they differ from our own beliefs. An atheist have to address this problem because there have been very violent atheists throughout our history, and we have to explain that. We have to answer for that. And you have to answer for radical Islam. Sorry, you're held to the same standard as any other person who's part of a group. If you are part of a group, even a loosely affiliated one, you have to answer for the fringes of that group. That is an expectation that's put upon you the moment you embrace an ideology. Anyway, let's progress.
Can't get any stronger condemnation than this. Now, why do I say they are disbelievers? Is because of this. The Saudi Arabian scholars have stated that the perpetrators of 9/11 were disbelievers. Now, you can't get any stronger condemnation than this. And
oh, yeah, okay. The Saudi Arabians, who were completely unbiased, the Saudi Arabian scholars, the completely unbiased Saudi Arabian scholars who didn't want, who had no stake in this matter whatsoever, said they were disbelievers, even though they were all, even though all the evidence points to them being believers, they were disbelievers because some Saudi Arabian scholars said so. Okay, fine, that makes sense.
You can't get any stronger opposition to Al-Qaeda and extremism than a guy making videos and saying how the Muslim community, which he is part of, are fighting extremism.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I'm doing this. So don't give me any of this warped logic that I am some sort of extremist or something. That was quite ridiculous and quite childish.
No. I didn't say you were an extremist. I said you were either an extremist or a coward. And it turns out that you are, in fact, the latter, which is probably better. I'm glad you're just a coward and not an extremist.
Now, your warped logic, I think, was fueled by the Tarantino jibe. I kind of suggested that you were imitating Tarantino, which I...
What is with you Muslims and saying that I imitate certain celebrities? I'm me, motherfuckers! I'm not Bill Hicks. I'm not Quentin Tarantino. Quit trying to stuff me in some fucking package of some celebrity and say, oh, you're just being this, you're just being that. You're just like this person, or you're just like that person. I am me, motherfuckers. Amazing atheist. That's who I am. I'm not Quentin Tarantino. I'm not motherfucking Bill Hicks. What would you do? I don't do that shit to you. Oh man, you're just like fucking. Let's see. Who's a random fucking... You're just like Samuel L. Jackson. That's who you are. You're Samuel L. Jackson. Quit trying to be Samuel L. Jackson, Snow 3585. You're just like him. You think you're Shaft? You're not Shaft, motherfucker. Richard Roundtree is Shaft. You see how little sense that makes?
Other people have said that you imitate Tarantino, Quentin Tarantino.
Tarantino. No.
I remember not so long ago you played a video and you said that you were going to refute him. Okay? But you didn't refute anything that he said. Why? Because you played his video whilst making your video, and he got to this accusation that you were imitating Bill Hicks. I don't even know who Bill Hicks is. So I assume that he's some American guy. That he isn't very popular in Britain. Maybe he is popular. Maybe I'm not.
Okay, well, he's actually a comedian. He was a comedian. He died in '94, I believe. He was a lot more popular in the UK than he was in America, although he was an American comedian. That's neither here nor there.
To obey with modern famous people in America and Britain at the minute. Now, this is the point. That was like a red rag to a bull for you. You know, you just started insulting him for the rest of your video.
Well, it's not a fucking point. He said he was going to refute atheism, and his first point against atheism was that I imitate Bill Hicks, which I don't. That deserves no refutation, sir. I'm sorry. Would you want an honest refutation? If I said I'm going to argue with Islam now, okay, my first point against Islam is that you remind me of Samuel L. Jackson. Would you give that a valid response? Would you feel that warrants a refutation on your part? I don't fucking think so, asshole. You know, don't hold me to a different standard than you would hold yourself. You know, if there's plenty of things you could criticize me on, plenty of things that you could probably score a point or two on me by saying, but pointing out that I didn't give a proper refutation to the ridiculous notion that my entire persona on YouTube is imitating Bill Hicks. Have you ever fucking met me? This is how I am. This is me, motherfucker. I'm not trying to be Bill Hicks. I'm not trying to be Tarantino. It's the most ridiculous fucking argument possible.
Can't even bother to address his point.
It wasn't a fucking point, you goddamn imbecile! What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you retarded? Like literally fucking retarded? I mean, you know, when you were born, did the fucking doctor spank your head instead of your ass? I mean, sorry. Let's proceed.
Bill Hicks jibe got to you. And I think the Tarantino jibe got to you. So you just thought, how shall I get to this Muslim? Oh yeah, let's just call him an extremist. Quite ridiculous and quite irresponsible on your behalf. Now, I say you are a racist. I say you are a racist. Now,
well, you know what? I actually agree with you that it was irresponsible for me to call you an extremist. But the fact that you, in one breath, say it was irresponsible for me to call you an extremist, and then in the next breath call me a racist, kind of, it almost like makes up for it. It almost just makes me like it pretty much clears the slate, you know, because I went to an unhealthy extreme in calling you an extremist, and you just returned the favor with those fucking words. So pretty much you just sacrificed what little moral high ground you had. I think it's kind of funny.
You may say, oh, you are using the same warped logic that I used.
Yeah, I just did that.
being the amazing atheist. You have made a video condemning racism from the KKK. No, I'm not using that warped logic.
Actually, I have made videos condemning racism. I made a video condemning racism a while back. I made a video condemning racist groups, the white power groups, and I made a video condemning black on white racism. So I've definitely addressed racism in the past, so obviously that logic wouldn't work. Anyway, proceed.
Using this logic, I viewed your first video a long time ago, and I heard what you said, okay? You went into a dimly lit area, and you appeared a bit darker than what you were. Okay, what you are, should I say. And then you use the N-word to describe yourself. Yeah.
Don't say the N-word. Just say nigger, okay? It's not a dangerous word. It's not an inherently racist word. The racism of that word is decided entirely by the context in which it was said. The word itself is not a bad word. Just like I don't think that any racial term has to necessarily be a bad word. I don't think that words like fuck and shit and ass and cunt and slut and motherfucker, I don't think those are all bad words. I think sometimes those words can be terms of endearment. I call a lot of my friends motherfucker. I call a lot of girls that I like bitches. When I said nigger, it was because I was in a dark area and I looked black. I could have said I look like an African American right now. I look like a black person right now, and that would have been okay. But because I use that word, it's automatically offensive. But of course, I was conscious of that. I was trying to be provocative, and of course it was provocative. People noticed it. But you know what? Most people understood that that was not a racist comment. The vast majority of people. And I think that you know it wasn't a racist comment. You're just trying to... Basically, you're trying to not address any of the things I brought up by instead just formulating a counterattack instead of actually forming a defense. But that's fine. I pretty much expected that of you. It's the action you would expect from extremists, by the way.
And I find the N-word quite offensive, and I think most people find that offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Fuck
there was
most
even
people.
an idiot who was, in the comment section, he mentions the N-word, and after that he says LOL, lol, laugh out loud. He found that funny. Now, don't make a response to me. I haven't got the time with childish games.
Oh shit. Sorry. I didn't know you didn't want a response. Amazing Atheist is a racist. Don't respond to that, Amazing Atheist. Just let that lie. Sorry, asshole. When someone makes an accusation, I'm going to come and tell you the same. I'm going to defend myself against an accusation. Actually defend myself. Not just come up with some distraction like you have done. I'm not just going to point at you and make an accusation at you to distract from the accusation you made at me. Unlike you, I actually refute my accusations, especially when there's any weight behind them.
And I don't want to make any more further videos to you. When I say don't make a response to me, I mean don't address it. It's not 3585 or something. Just address the points, not even the points of the video, just address the allegation that you are a racist.
Okay. I will look at you in the eye. Well, obviously I can't see your eyes, but I could if I look down here, but then it doesn't look like I'm looking at your eyes. It looks like I'm looking at the computer screen. I'm not a racist. I never have been. I probably never will be. Can't speak for the future, of course, but anyone who knows me knows I'm not a racist. And I don't give a shit. I'll say any racist words because I don't believe that racist words exist. But I don't have any hatred for any other group of people. In fact, it's impossible to be an individualist and a racist. And I consider myself something of an individualist. I don't take it as far as a lot of people do in saying that groups don't need to exist. I believe that we can be part of groups and still be individuals. But you cannot be any sort of individualist and believe in racism, because individualism demands that you judge people by their individual merits. I am extremely elitist when it comes to things like intellect, when it comes to things like sense of humor, when it comes to things like perceptions about art and literature and cinema. But I'm not a racist. I don't judge by that particular factor whatsoever. So there you go. There's your refutation of your accusation. And it's so easy to call someone a racist, though, because you can always because no matter how much I refute it, you never really know. I could be lying right now, so it's such an easy accusation to make. Now, but my accusation to you, which ironically you do not address, is that you are either too afraid of extremists to criticize them, or you're an extremist yourself. And I didn't think of the third option, that you actually just disown extremism because you're afraid to deal with the problem. Anyway, I guess we'll just proceed from here.
And just state why you aren't a racist. State your case and just attach it to this video so people know why you made the video. Okay?
Did
just
it?
do that.
Did it? Did it, motherfucker?
Now, Khalid, the reason why I made this video, the reason why I felt a compulsion to intrude is because of this. I felt that it would have been unfair for a young guy like yourself to have been left with a channel that, a popular member of YouTube has labeled as an extremist channel. So I think that it was fair for me just to intrude and make a video just to basically defend your own reputation. Now, I think I did view your video, I listened to it, and it was very humble, brilliant video, a great start, and I think that, future topics that you may be interested in, maybe how Islam deals with terrorism, how it rejects extremism.
Blah, blah, blah. Is there anything else about me in here?
Because he makes videos against me. But don't imitate people. I don't know if you do. I don't even know who Bill Hicks is. Okay?
I don't, motherfucker. Fuck you. Okay. Anyway, there you go. Amazing atheist, not an amazing racist, and I am still not too fond of your religion. I'm still not too fond of any religion for that matter. I'm still very, very extremely bigoted, but I am certainly not a racist. Thank you very much for your fucking time.